success for me is right now, as I said, it's very, very different. But I mean, it's going to sound as corny as hell, but I genuinely just want to do something that people go, that was a joy to meet her.
Mm-hmm.
That one thing she said, oh, thanks for offering to hug me. I needed that. I don't want to judge people. Like, I've been judged so many times, and I've been told that I'm way too much. People have told me that I'm way too much. Like, you've just got to lower the intensity a bit. You're a bit too much. And I know that I'm more than enough now.
Welcome to the Project Emerald Collective. I'm your host, Eve McIntyre. Every week I sit down with women who have chosen to live differently. Designers, founders, creatives, psychologists, adventurers, and change makers. People asking bigger questions about how we live, work, create, and connect. These conversations aren't really about fashion. They're about living with intention, finding the courage to be yourself, and discovering what becomes possible when you stop living by expectation and start living by choice. If that's the kind of life you're creating too, you're in the right place. Now let's go. Today I have the pleasure of having Sharon Harvey join me on the cast. And Sharon, can you tell us about yourself and the different hats that you wear?
Sure. I was actually just thinking about this morning when I was listening to a Mel Robbins podcast. There was a lady that was talking about the diversity of the adventure in doing different things and how that makes you, and I didn't sort of realize this at the time, but I'm listening to him and go, oh, I think that's probably me, because I've done such an array of things in my life. Some have worked, some have not worked, and some have just fallen on their ass real quick. But whether that was starting a Tasmanian gift hamper business from scratch, whether it was operating 2 health hubs that had the element of a shake bar. I've been a strategic business coach. I've run a women's network. I'm a volunteer. I run school holiday programs. I have my own business shop that is 5 months old. So, I wear a lot of different hats. I have done a lot of different things, but solely right now it's focusing in on the shop that we have called Shakes and Ladders.
Such a great space that you've created. And I also know that you're a mother and a wife, and there's so many elements to the lives that we live today, and bringing that intentional aspect, I guess, to how we move through our days, the different hats that we wear, different roles that we play. It's about being in alignment. Can you chat to us about the 3 pivotal moments in your life that have led you to where you are today, running the Shakes and Ladders bar in Cygnet?
Sure. This was tricky because I feel like there's been so many people that have made a positive impact with the direction that I went in after meeting them. At the time, the engagement may not have been positive, but the next step or the next door I went through led me to the next one. My first husband played an incredible part in my younger years. So I came from like a housing commission type of area, single mum, 5 kids. I like to share, but I also know that you can overshare and then you go down that rabbit hole and then you can't get back out of it. But yeah, it was an interesting upbringing. Mum did the best that she could with what she had access to, and I can appreciate and love that now. At the time, it was incredibly difficult. So I had my first moment was when I met first husband. And so I grew up with not a lot of people around me had jobs. It was not something that was the normal for me. There was a couple of people, but there was no role model, so to speak.
Yeah, right.
And I wasn't necessarily around and supported in the environment that I was in schooling and otherwise. I mean, if there was anything that was going down that wasn't good, I was in that circle. So like that's just where I hung out, and that's just the things that I did. But I learnt boundaries by some of that stuff as well, and what's good and what's not so good. So, you know, now I can look at my own kids and know, Big Mama's watching. I know what's going on here. Meeting my first husband, he was the one that showed me that you want something, you work your ass off for it. And that was such an important part of my life at 19.
Yeah.
So I moved out at home at 16, didn't finish year 11. So I was ready to go as soon as I could go and do my own thing. He also taught me to drive, which I had a chronic fear of because I had no self-confidence whatsoever. I was an incredibly large, in terms of like physically large, person, and I was throughout my whole childhood. Very, very overweight. I was the overweight out of us three girls, which I struggled with. So, when he kind of accepted me as I was and who I was and taught me there's the different way, having kids, you know, like I had, my daughter when I was 33. So having kids was one of the biggest, things that I'd ever experienced, because up until that point, it was really just all about me. Like everything was about me. I'd managed to travel overseas 33 times. I had a successful career in health and nutrition. I was exposed to personal development at the young raw age of 20. If you want things to change, you need to change.
Yeah.
All of that was just ingrained into me by me choosing to listen to it, at such, you know, such a young age. So I feel like, you know, that part of my working career when I was younger was important pre-kids, but then having kids, everything flipped. I tried to do both really well, and as much as you can, and that's go you, I couldn't, there was not my thing. I really struggled because I just wanted to be a mother. I really just wanted to be a mother, and I was managing a team, like a huge team. I was still a sought after speaker at different things and traveling, and I just couldn't do both. I made a decision that I was going to leave Tasmania, go to New South Wales, be around my family, and just focus in on raising my kids. And it was a tough decision because it was a financial decision that had me, I've been at different stages of my life and my career where I have been way below the poverty line, way below, like barely surviving. And then I've been, you know, everything's just okay and that's fine. And there's no right or wrong. But, and then I've been way above in terms of income. I've earned some incredible income over the years doing different things, but then I've also gone down as a result of decisions that I made and priorities. But it was a big decision to make, and I don't regret a single moment of it. I feel like I'm on my second act now, in so many ways. And I feel like another pivotal moment for me was when I got really sick. So I was 38. I woke up one morning and I went to read the text messages on my phone and I couldn't see them. Never wore glasses, just couldn't read them. So I'm like, oh, okay, I need to go get my eyes checked. So at a guess, my daughter's just turned 13. So this was probably like 7 or 8 years ago. So they were young, and my son will be in high school next year. So they were young. And so I just went and got my eyes checked, routine thing, and they sent me straight to the emergency. So long story short, I spent many of days in the hospital getting all different tests, from PET scans to MRIs to so many lumbar punctures, the worst pain and experience of my life by far, except for miscarriage. That is also very, very, very emotionally and physically, horrific. But I went through all of that, and I remember when they told me what was wrong. So I've got a permanent brain shunt. They also found tumours in 3 different areas of my head. Still got one to deal with. The left side of my face is completely numb. My eye constantly waters. But going through all of this stuff, I had different emotions for different reasons. The kids were so young. I didn't have a will. Kyle and I were not married. I was like, oh my God, what will happen? It was horrific. It was just frightening I felt like I had no control over what was going on.
Absolutely.
But I also knew from my early personal growth and the different things that I'd done through life is that I'm going to say yes to the medical side of things because I don't know any different and they know, right? And they were amazing. The neurologists, everything, they were fantastic. But I also need to ask some questions about how I can help myself.
Yeah.
And when I asked those questions of them at the time, they stared at me, which felt like for about 30 minutes because they were in shock that no one had ever asked them, how can someone help themselves? Look, I'll take your stuff, I'll do your things, and they didn't know how to answer it. So I knew that I had to have a personal responsibility for doing the research, doing my bit for my health issues, and making some adjustments and changes to my life, to the work I was doing, to a whole lot of things. Had to have a conversation with Kyle, who's 13 years younger than me, and we were not married. And I'm like, okay, I think he should just go and do his own thing. I'm done. I'm like, put me to pasture. I'm cooked, whatever. So I had a conversation with him, and I needed to do that. I needed to unpack all of that. And I had to accept a new version of myself, which was very difficult because if there's ever something to be done, then I was always the first person to put my hand up. Get me in the ring. I'm in. Like, what can I do? Show me. Like, I'm here to help. But I had to learn that no was a full sentence and that what my capabilities were. And that was a really interesting time for me. And it's still, ongoing with various things, but just accepting a new version of yourself and knowing that you have a role to play, whether it's health or other things, in showing up for yourself.
We've been through so many different phases of your life, and I love that you keep evolving. And it's actually shocking that the medical staff didn't know how to answer that question, because we have that agency, like we have the ability to shape our reality with our thoughts. And thank goodness that you had done all of that personal development work early on so that you were aware that there was a different, there was also, yes, there's the medical side, but also the mental side as well.
Yeah. Mine didn't matter. So you've got to have both. I'm a big believer of the personal growth side of things, but you physically can't sit on your ass and just will things to happen without moving. Like you have to move. You have to, motivation comes from action, not wait to get motivated, then move. So the two are really important. You have to be prepared to move. Do the necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Shaz, what does living intentionally mean to you?
This is an interesting one because it's evolved over the years and it's all, there's different phases and stages and stuff that you go through. So for me, one of the things that I like to give back, and I use the shitty things that's happened throughout my childhood and the shitty things that's happened and the positive things that's happened. Like, my life's been a mixture of both. I can't ever seem to just have one or the other. They just kind of are. But I figure that's just how it goes, and that's what makes you a whole human. I think that you need to be prepared to give back, and all the different things that you have done. And it doesn't need to necessarily be in money nor time. It could be a combination of the two, or it could just be holding space for someone when they need it.
Mhm.
Like I've been outed by family before when I made decisions with a marriage. I've had a whole community turn their back on me because of some things that I'd done. There's so many things. I've made bad choices in my life. I've made very good ones too, but I've made some pretty bad choices. So I have always tried to, things aren't just black and white. Not everything's cupcakes and rainbows. I don't think anyone should have to feel alone. I felt alone for a long period of my time for like a long time at different stages. And I would hate that for anybody. So living intentionally for me is I don't want people to feel alone. I also want my kids to be able to say that I was there and that they could come to me and that they could ask questions and that I always had time. So it's the little things for me that matter the most. And for example, like if I'm, watching TV, which I've only really actually just started to do, which is like a whole new thing. I mean, I'm watching all these comedy shows and I'm loving it. Cole and I are just like watching ourselves at the comedy stuff. But if our daughter comes out and she asks a question, it instantly goes off. There's no issue. It can wait. I want to be with her or our son or whatever. So that's intentional for me. Like, I want them to know that they don't have to be good and a good boy and good girl all the time because they're not going to be. I mean, that's the reality of it. Even when things are shit, there's going to come a day where they make bad choices. Just let me be the person you tell that to. It's fine. Trust me. But I just want to have a safe place and space for people to show up in. And I believe that's why I was gravitated to do what I'm doing with the space, the shop. The amount of people that come in and the conversations that I've had from travelers to the community are extraordinary. And
Tell us about Shakes and Ladders.
so Shakes and Ladders, we sip it, we plant it, and we wear it again. So that's our motto. And nutritional shakes, plants, which I've learnt to propagate through my sickness and going through all of the different things. I didn't have house plants, but I don't know why, I just had this natural pull to do it. And now I've over 200 indoor plants. I propagate all the plants in the shop and it's my happy time. I love it so much. But I also love the nutritional shake element to what we do. So our Sip It is all about getting good nutrition and having a conversation and having a different option and a different choice. So this also helps me to have conversations about the amount of conversations I've had with people about health, and they've shared with me and they've been able to offload and we've been able to share stories is fantastic. It's so good. So I feel like I'm supposed to be doing that as well. And then the Preloved and the secondhand clothing side, everything pretty much I own. I personally draw the line at underwear, but that's a personal preference. But everything that I own, and that came through a need when I was younger, environment that I lived in. I love the adventure of not knowing what you're going to find, and the fact that no one else has probably got that thing. Whereas if you go into, a department store, it's all the same, just in different sizes, and we're not all the same. So I love being able to offer affordable options for people. Affordable, it's the impact. I just genuinely get such a kick out of it. And there's also a community element to what we do. So I'll give you an example. I had a lady that's just had a newborn, and she, as we know, they grow through those clothes really quickly. I mean, they have way too much, and they never wear that all. So, and she's got other children, so she put all of her newborn things in, and she was able to get the store credit, and then she was able to buy her children their next size up, which they're pushing out the size that they're in. And to be able to offer that and have that like circular community approach is fantastic. And we run community, small business meetups every couple of months because I've done that, as a business coach in my previous working life as well. Some paid, some not paid, but I love that part of it. I've read a couple of school holiday programs on the little deck that we've got, Mother's Day craft, how to build a succulent garden, which I never intended to do either of those things. But I came to realize that that's who I am. So I've blended all of the things that bring me joy into one roof. And I can't wait to show up. Like, I love going in it.
How awesome is that you have created a space just for you and you're welcoming people into that joy? Like, you can feel it when you're there.
Yeah, I love it. And I've been able to collaborate too. It's probably the other thing. And I'm big with collaboration. I don't think you do anything alone. As an I team, like, you are better off with other people. There's like a feeling when you can go somewhere with someone else. It's just a completely different vibe. So to be able to collaborate, I know you've had Karen as a guest speaker. So Karen came and did a wardrobe wisdom workshop for us last Saturday. Hugely successful in terms of the feedback, in terms of every element. That could not have gone any better. From the workshop she delivered to connections that were made to the people that were talking to each other. They all loved the smoothies, the shakes that I made. It was such a success. And I find collaboration, it is like a pivotal part of everything I've always done. Yeah.
You've talked us through the different stages of your life, but has your definition of success changed over the years?
Oh, God, yes. So I swear I've had a few last names for sure, but I swear I've had just so many different versions of myself as well. Like, and I don't even know if that's finished yet. Like, I feel like I'm moving into something completely different right now in a lot of different ways. So yeah, look out for that to come. But absolutely. So I was the person that, traveled. I was like needing to have the Gucci bag, people that know me now that never knew that version of me, they just like, nah, never. That's not even you. Like, that's not that that's a bad thing, but, I think for me, I always grew up with a lack mentality and everyone else had everything. We never went anywhere. We never did anything. Mum did the best she could, but our, one-way trip was fishing and camping, and now I would froth over all that stuff. I'm like, oh, sign me up, I'm in. Can I come? Like, I'll fit in the car somewhere. Can I go with your family? Like, I want to be a part of, all of that. So definitely, before becoming a mother, I had, with the first marriage breakdown, I went through a different version of myself where I was completely rogue and crazy. Like, I went a little nuts. And luckily I had a couple of really key people in my life at the time that were there to help and support me through some really dark times and some really interesting decisions that I made. I've also, been up and down in, not even knowing, what my point or purpose was. And being unsure of like what brought me joy, and what success really means. I think for me, one of the messages that I had when I was going through all the health things, it was actually a GP. And I said to him, I'm like, people are telling me that I need to rest. And I've tried this. I've tried to just do much of nothing. So it's not my thing. Like, I can't, I've been depressed twice in my life. And that was one time. I just don't care anymore. I have to care. I have kids. And I know I do, but I don't. At the same time, I don't know what to do. And he said, he never said what brings you joy. What do you enjoy doing? I mean, he said it in a, no disrespect to him, but he said it in a male way and a neurology GP way, but basically was asking me what makes you happy, pretty much. I was talking about volunteering and all the different things that I do and all the things that he's like, so why have you stopped doing it? So the worst thing that you can do is let your brain go soggy. It's going to have lapses. But like he said, you can't afford that because my brain has been tampered with so many times that you have to keep active. You have to have conversations. You've got to do the things that keep your mind working. Success for me is right now. I mean, it's going to sound as corny as hell, but I genuinely just want to do something that people go, that was a joy to meet her.
Mm-hmm.
That one thing she said, oh, thanks for offering to hug me. I needed that. Or I don't want to judge people. Like I've been judged so many times and I've been told that I'm way too much. People have told me that I'm way too much. Like you've just got to lower the intensity a bit. You're a bit too much. And I know that I'm more than enough now. Like I have to say this to myself often. Because I always do have a lot on and I prefer it that way. So success to me is about truly showing up without any bullshit. Like I wanted to do me because that's what I want to do, not because of anything else anyone's told me or society or I'm just so bored with that crap. Like that's success to me.
Yeah, I love that you've defined that and that you're just doing you because the world needs us to be authentic and step into who we're here to be. So
yes,
you're embodying that, which is a beautiful thing. What have been some of the biggest lessons life has taught you so far?
Nothing is what it seems. You think like when you don't have money, all you want to do is you think money's the answer. I mean, it ranks up there with oxygen. It gives us choices. We need it, but it's not everything. And people, you might look at someone and go, oh, but they've got a house. They own a house. They're traveling. They're on that holiday. But yet the next year they're going through a divorce. So, and that's not like positive or negative. Like it's just don't get caught up into what everyone else is freaking doing. Like be supportive when the time comes, positive and negative, if you can, for sure, when everyone's going through their stuff, if you can, if you've got capacity to do that. But nothing is what it seems. And it might look good, but deep down, you don't really know what's going on. The only thing that you can really know what's going on is what you're doing. I can only control myself.
Yeah.
I can help and support where I can, but that is the only thing that I have control over.
So obviously, you've chatted to us about your health challenges and how did those experiences change your perspective on life?
Dramatically. So I had to make some adjustments with what I was doing at the time, like work-wise. And I had to have conversations with my husband and I had to have conversations with the kids. I had to have conversations with my family. I had to make some decisions about what if things don't work out, like what's going to happen. Like, and I needed to know there was boundaries with that because the kids were young. Like I had to, go through and have all of those conversations. And it was tough. And I had to, readjust all things from even just how I was showing up as a friend or as a woman or as a supportive person. Like I couldn't do to the level I was of those things anymore. I had to be honest with people. For the first time in my life, I think I had to learn to say, look, I can't do that. I don't have the capacity to do this. That was not easy for me. And I learned through that, I learned that, you can say no.
Yeah.
And this is not working for me. And, just I had to accept people's help. Like, it was really hard for me because moving out of home at 16, I've always felt like if it's meant to be, it's up to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't have complete control over everything, it's actually a little frightening. You've got to allow other people in to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to let Kyle parent the kids more than what I was. Because there was times where I just couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't even get them ready for school. You feel like you're a combination of hungover, you've got jet lag, and you've also been on a massive sugar high. Like, it is the weirdest thing because you're there but you're not there, and your brain doesn't work, and it's a horrible feeling to go through. But I had to let people drop food off. You know, I had to do all that. You were one of those people. Like, that wasn't easy for me, but I also have learned that other people heal when they're connected to you by giving you things.
Yeah.
Because that's what I used to do, and now I had to flip it and be the receiver of it, which was, you know, really tough. And I think those lessons are still with me to today. Like, I had a lady come into the shop and she's like, "Do you need coat hangers?" I said, "You know what? Actually, yes, I do today. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much." I also had someone come in like a month before, and I had so many things. And she's like, "Do you need this?" And I looked at her and I said, "I want to say yes because I know that you want me to take them. The answer's not right now, but can you please, I will happily take them to Vinnie's for you if that helps you." She's like, "Would you?" I'm like, "Absolutely. I've got some stuff to take there anyway." So it worked out. But normally I would just say, "Yeah, I'll have them." And I didn't really want them. So I think that through all of that needing to say yes, say no, all of that has helped me with other things, and just be straight up, like, this is making me uncomfortable, or like whatever the things is, I'm more open to just saying, I know your intentions are good, but this doesn't work for me.
Yes.
I never thought I'd be ever able to do that stuff.
Oh, good for you.
Yes.
Touching on, do you think we underestimate how resilient we really are until life gives us no choice but to discover it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think from moving out of home early, marriage, divorce, kids, miscarriage, health issues. I live in Tasmania. All my family is in New South Wales. Like, you have to be resourceful. You have to have that ownership. And like, I think there's so much more for me yet to do. And I think that's part of where the resilience, there's, when you don't have point or purpose in your life, and I think this is what the GP was trying to say in his own GP way, you go soggy. So resilience comes because you've got something to look forward to. If you don't have anything to look forward to, what's the point? You want to try to not get to that point because it can get a little dark, but always have something, just some things that you can get excited for and that you're looking forward to, whether it is that finally you're having that family trip, that camping trip, or going somewhere, or whatever it might be. It might be that you're starting a podcast or YouTube channel. It might be that, you're volunteering for something, but just have something that you're always looking forward to. Could be just that coffee catch up with that friend. To have some point and purpose to the things that you choose to do. Wherever you spend your time, have point and purpose to that.
Yes.
Because that creates intentional. Yeah, right. And it creates, I think you want to live life when you have got things that excite you. When you don't have things that excite you, when you feel shit, you do shitty things. When you feel good, you make better choices. I've had friends that have asked me for help and support through various different things. So let's get you involved in something. Let's do something that creates some point and purpose. That's my version of helping.
Mm. Yeah, I love that. So touching on conscious consumption and your pre-loved journey and op shopping that brings you joy, have you noticed a shift in how people think about consumption value and sustainability?
Yeah, in many ways. It was so cool when you shop secondhand. I don't know about you, but there was a stage of my childhood where I was telling no one I was getting secondhand clothing. It was not the vibe at all. But it's incredibly different now. Conversations that I have when people are coming into the shop and they're, I'm like, share what's something you've purchased lately that you love. And they'll just go off on this massive, fabulous rant about this shirt that they bought it 15 years ago, or the one that they just recently bought, or this hat, and it creates amazing conversation. It reconnects them with those choices that, that they made. I think people are, purpose, planet, I think we want to do more, but often we don't know where to start or we don't know how. So I think it's important for us. I mean, there's a big issue out there, as we know, like with overconsumption of everything from technology to fashion to so many. We're overconsumption. Our bodies and brains and houses and all that stuff is just way too full of crap.
Yeah.
But that's a massive thing. How can we, I think this is what I would encourage everyone to think about. If you feel that you want to do something, think about the things you're already doing. Like, give yourself a pat on the back. When you can, are you taking the keep cup? Are you doing your recycling? Are you, when something doesn't fit, do you have, this is what I did with the kids every holidays. I would declutter the house because I can't handle stuff everywhere. It does my head in. So I'd have the donation bag. I'd have the marketplace bag. Or the Project Emerald app now that we have access to that. So you've got your different, things that you can do. You don't have to do anything with them right now, but just have them there. So when it doesn't fit, or you see the shorts on the kid and they're like, okay, they're a bit booty scrunches. They're not shorts anymore. They're bike shorts. So, you put them in whatever bag. So it's doing the things that you can do with what you've got access to do at the moment. I think it starts there, and then just doing without judgment of others. Don't judge other people for their choices, because I think everyone's doing the best they can with the information that they have at this current moment. So don't be judgy. It's really hard, but try not to be judgy of other people. Just do your thing as best you can, and people will see that and then want to move and gravitate, towards that. And make secondhand furniture, secondhand clothing, secondhand anything, just the new normal.
Yeah.
I hate paying full price for anything. I have always been like that, even when I was making lots of money. I hate it. I hate paying postage too, by the way. That's another pet hate. But yeah, so I think it's just a conscious thing, and just try not to be judgy of others.
Yes, absolutely. Everyone's doing the best with what they've, the knowledge that they have.
Correct.
I believe. So what treasures or life lessons has op shopping taught you?
There's treasure. Definitely there's treasure there. Like, I have some of the best, fabulous things by just doing that. Like, I love it. I also have really good conversations with people when I'm in op shops too. I find I find a really good crowd of people that I like. So I just enjoy that vibe of the person that comes into, a secondhand shop or a pre-loved op shop. Like, I enjoy that. So I don't know if I've answered your question, but I think it's, I enjoy it for myself. I find therapy.
Yeah. So what advice we'll wrap up now. So what advice would you give your younger self, Shaz?
I would say to myself that you're enough. One day you would realize it. One day you will realize it. And that you will be safe. You are going to be safe. Just get through this part. And you did okay. Look at you now. It's okay. And, you know, I'm all for education. Totally. But it's an interesting one for me because I think some of the lessons that I've learned have been by living life.
Yeah.
Sure, I think I would love for my children to completely finish school and maybe go further. But at the same time, it's only part of it. And as long as you are around the right people most of your life, and if you're not quickly go to the right people, I think as long as you do good and have good, you know, with those, you will be okay. If you can be okay, like socially, community, and have some people, it doesn't have to be a lot. I think you just feeling connected is a really important thing, and that's why it's important for me to try to do that as best as I can with all things that I do, because it's a shitty feeling to feel alone.
Yeah.
And lost. And I felt like that for what felt like such a long time. So just knowing that you're good enough, you are worthy, and, you know, it's all going to be okay.
Yeah, I love that. If there was one message that you'd love to give listeners today to take away from the conversation, what would it be?
That think of every day, like my daughter's just turned 13. And I didn't know if I was going to be there for that. There was a period of my life where I wasn't sure what was happening or what was going on or even what was wrong with me medically. No one could give me any answers for a period of time. Don't be the person that complains about going to see your parents or your grandparents or your in-laws, or that you've got to go to this sport thing, or you should be grateful that you get to go to that stuff and that you get to be here to do those things. So I'm really mindful of trying not to go, you know, another dance lesson or another 3-hour round trip in the car. Because I am so incredibly grateful that I get to do this thing with my kids, because some parents don't have that opportunity. And I know some parents that don't now have that opportunity. And that could have been my children. So, and it could have been me. So really try to just look at the good stuff in a day, and the fact that you get to show up and do something each and every day. Really important. It's not a chore to live.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. And each day that we have counts. So we might as well make the most of it.
Yes.
As always, you bring so much wisdom, and I feel like you're so intentional. You embody that energy, and you really reflect on what's working well, what's not, and then you change it. And yes, so thank you for sharing today, and it's always great to be in your company. So for anyone looking for a hug or a thrifted bargain or a shake or a plant or all of them, visit Shaz at Shakes and Ladders in Cygnet. Before we finish, I'd love to leave you with one question. When did you last feel most like yourself? Not the version shaped by expectations, deadlines, or anyone else's opinions, but the real you. Maybe that's something worth sitting with this week. If today's conversation has resonated with you, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing the episode with someone who may need to hear it. Every share helps us reach more people and grow a community that's choosing to live with greater intention. Until next time, remember, take your power back, one conscious choice at a time. I'll see you in the next episode.